we've run since reopening the Brookdale 8. And a lot of you already met this gentleman out in the lobby. He's a living legend. He's worked with everybody from Kirk Douglas to Ed Wood. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ted V. Mikels.
Thank you. That's quite a spread, Kirk Douglas to Ed Wood. Huh? But Ed Wood was 25 years ago. Kirk Douglas was 35 years ago. I was riding a horse bareback in Kirk Douglas's picture, shooting flaming arrows. Anyway, it was fun. A little bit about Corpse Grinders. This was #1 in box office in Los Angeles, and of course to me it's a funky little movie, but I have more memories of how we made it. I couldn't afford hamburger for the grinding machine, so it's sawdust mixed with hamburger. I never knew who my crew was because I had no money to make it, so whoever showed up made the movie, and if nobody in the crew showed up, I was behind the camera. But it was a fun film to make, and the fun we've had with it around the world. When people tell me it's the most memorable movie they've ever seen, is one thing. And then when we were getting a motion picture rating, they rated it an R, and I couldn't understand. And I called the rating board and talked to one of the principals there on the board, and I said, "That's not an R, it's a campy little funny movie." And the guy says, "Sir, grinding cadavers into cat food is no joke." And he was serious. So anyway, I don't know what else to tell you about, but because my lady is in some dental pain up above, we're going to leave as soon as I go back up there and get her. And so if there's any questions you might have, this is the time to ask, because this is the one and only tonight. There won't be another midnight show of Corpse Grinders. Anybody have a question? I can't see any hands, so you'll have to yell.
Ted, did Stephen King say something about this film?
Stephen King did. In one of his books, and I don't know the name of it, I had a copy of it at one time, that is the pages somebody tore out and sent to me, and they said nobody with $1 million could made as delightful a film as Ted Mikels did with Corpse Grinders. And then he compared the lighting and all that to a trilogy of movies that cost several $1 million, and he said Corpse Grinders was far superior. And I, of course, had no idea that Stephen King would even know of the movie. So, anyway, anything else, anyone?
Did you have a working script right away?
Yes, yes, I did. Arch Hall, who was a very talented man, no longer with us, but anyway, he brought a script. Of course, it didn't look a lot like this, but I was really, I love the idea of grinding bodies into cat food. So I kind of named it Corpse Grinders and rewrote quite a bit of it and had a couple of friends writing. And of course, you always improvise while you're shooting. But yes, we did have it was being rewritten, almost each day until we started shooting. And I bought short ends. That's little tiny short pieces of film from Paramount for $0.05 a foot. And of course that was a real buy then, because short ends even 30 years ago were 18 cents a foot. Of course short ends now are double that. But in any event, we got through it. I had almost no money at all. When people say they make a movie for tiny money, I had $1,700. and I spent $17 of it on the corpse grinding machine alone. Anyway, it consists of some funny contraptions and so on. But anyway, any other questions? Oh, by the way, I still have a couple copies of the original script, the original that we used. Now, not the one I bought from Arch Hall, because we changed it a fair amount, but original. And I've also got a couple of the original Doll Squad scripts. And, of course, we followed that pretty carefully. I don't have any Blood Orgy. That's one that I isolated myself and wrote, and I was so focused in writing it, I never changed a word, never changed a scene. I shot it, directed it, put it out exactly as I wrote it, and edited it the same way, and it's probably the only picture that I've ever done where I followed my own script right to the word. Any other questions?
What's the contraption you had the most fun with on the film?
The contraption? The machine? Well, I think the corpse grinding machine in #1 in the film you're going to see kind of set a precedent. We ground up bodies in a very humorous way. But in Corpse Grinders 2, all the people that had seen this picture, Corpse Grinders 1, all wanted to be ground up for the fun of it, you know. So Corpse Grinders 2 was a little more elaborate. We had a little better rolling thing, which I got from the post office, to shove the bodies into the hole. And I cast all the teeth myself and glued them on one at a time onto the drum to ground up the bodies. But we had people coming from all over, from Oregon, from Indiana, from New York and Los Angeles, those places, just to get ground up, just for the fun of it. And they brought themselves in and just waited till we ground them up. That's how much fun it was. And I ground up about 5 or 6 of my 26 grandkids. Did you ground up your grandkids? Yeah, they loved it. They wanted to be ground up. So anyway, so after you see this one, I'm hoping you'll want to see Corpse Grinders 2 also. But that's all I have to say for now. Thank you and enjoy.